All right, guys. FFP discussions number 31. And today I want to talk about high skills or high skill movements, complex movements, and CrossFit and the role that it plays within our fitness and within our training. So it was kind of brought to light recently that when it comes to high skill movements and training in general, people tend to shy away from them. They tend to, and I'm not saying this is everyone, because I know a lot of you guys will attack them head on to the best of your ability. But with high skill movements, they play a vital role in our development as a human and our ability to be a well-rounded athlete, really. When it comes to the 10 general physical skills, there are organic components, or organic meaning we need to essentially build muscle and do the movement to improve the movement, and get stronger and actually change physiologically our muscle structure to improve on that movement. So a good example of this is a back squat. So it's not a massively high skill movement. The best way to improve on this is to back squat, get stronger, and grow muscle. So the actual leg structure that we possess will increase in muscle mass. The density of that muscle will improve and become higher and be able to produce more force and move more load. There are other components in the general physical skills that are more neurological, which are things like balance, accuracy, coordination, agility. Those would be the main four, and they are neurologically, those things improve on a neurological level, meaning that your brain develops as we do movements that improve those skills. So doing things like a handstand walk is something that improves your balance, your coordination, your accuracy. Whenever you're walking on your hands, putting your hands in the right place is a massive part of doing the movement correctly and well. And with movements like that, like a handstand walk with a ring muscle up, with a bar muscle up, or a handstand push up, there's a lot of high skill movements here that on the face of it, you look at them and go, I don't need that. Why do I need to be walking on my hands? And I just described the exact reason. The 10 general physical skills are there because that provides a full kind of, what would you call it? A full contents, or a full picture of what it means to be a generally strong, broadly fit, well-rounded athlete. And if we leave the movements out that develop some of those aspects of our fitness, we have holes in our game. We essentially are leaving out parts of our fitness that we can optimize, which in turn actually progress all of those other aspects of fitness. Because if you can do a really good snatch or a really good clean weightlifting movements, they take a lot of skill and a lot of coordination, a lot of accuracy. If you do that movement like slightly off, and you're slightly off, that bar's going down. You have to be accurate with those. And if you can do those well, really proficiently, you better believe that your back squat is going to improve, because you know where you need to be in your feet to be well balanced. You know where you need to have the bar in order to move it efficiently. If you can snatch and clean really well, that's going to transfer over. If you can handstand walk, if you can do a handstand push up or a ring muscle up, you better believe that your strict pull ups, your kipping pull ups, your body weight strength and coordination, and your body awareness is going to improve massively because of your development of those skills. And it's sad to see in this day and age that it's just the way things seem to be going at the moment, is that there's a lot of functional fitness activities out there that don't focus on these higher skill movements. And you're getting a lot of people who are very, very, they're very aerobically fit. They're very, some are very strong and capable in that they can move heavy loads, but in more basic movements. But when it comes to the higher skill movements, they have a huge gap in their game, and it's a problem, because if you, our ability to have good balance and coordination and be able to know where our body is in space, all of these things are developed through higher skill movement. And if we don't develop those things, it's all well and good being able to, have lungs the size of, whatever, a football pitch. But if your balance isn't great, do you know what I mean? We're just losing aspects of our fitness that, just because they're hard to learn and just because the skills are difficult, we're losing massive parts of our game and our fitness, and it's sad to see. And for me personally, the attainment of new skills in CrossFit is probably that's my favorite thing to do. Lifting a really, really heavy barbell, to me, is, I'm not overly excited about it. I think it's cool, and it's fun when you get a new PB, but more recently I just learned how to do a handstand walk over one of those ramps, and to me that was so fun, and I developed an awareness and a bit of extra balance to try and get myself over this thing. And I eventually got it after weeks and weeks and weeks of practice, and it was really fun. I loved doing that, and it actually reignited that playful part of me that enjoys learning new skills. And to see people not want to pursue that is sad, I think. And I guess this brings me around to full circle in, is to encourage you guys to pursue the hard things, pursue higher skill movements, pursue the development of these movements. Some of us will never do certain skills, but it doesn't mean we can't do the things that are the building blocks to get to those skills. So and this is something I say to most people that are starting CrossFit, don't start CrossFit because you want to be like an elite athlete that you see at the CrossFit Games. Whenever you have that in mind, it's very likely you're going to be disappointed, because there's a reason why they're the top 0.01% of people on the planet that can do what they can do. The more realistic goal to shoot for is someone who has been doing CrossFit for 4 or 5 years. They're proficient in most of the movements. They've developed a well-rounded general base of skill and strength and aerobic capacity. They're still in pursuit of some skills. They might not ever get them, but that's okay. They're still working on them. That's the kind of person that you want to be like when it comes to your training. The kind of person that pushes towards the things that they can't do yet, and not being able to do them as, well, I just won't then, just because I can't do it now. That is the biggest load of crap I have ever heard, in my personal opinion. Do difficult stuff because that's how you learn and grow and develop. What's the point? Like, I don't know. Maybe this is just me being a bit, I don't know. I'm on my soapbox here, but I see so many people um, leaving CrossFit for high rocks because they can't do higher skill movements, and it pains me, because it's like, okay, well, you'll get good at running, and you'll get good at those 8 stations that exist in high rocks. Everything else, no. Everything else just gets left for this one race. And to me, it just bewilders me. And I get it. It's fun. I love competing. I actually really want to go and do a high rocks, because it's a challenge. It's really difficult. And I'm not saying that people can't get fit doing it, but the problem is it's the only thing they do, which leaves a massive gap in your fitness, because now all you're doing is those 9 movements, running, and then the 8 stations. That's it. That's what you're training for. And, like, personally, as a person who wants to be broadly fit and generally fit across as many domains as possible, it's not appealing to me at all to make that my main thing. So it's, and to caveat all of that, it's not that I don't like high rocks, and it's not that I don't want people to do it, because I think it's a fantastic way to get fit and to feel fitter and get fitter than you have been before. But I don't think it stops there. I think if that's your sole purpose and it's the only thing you do, fair enough. But as I've said this in like so many, like, in conversations and things, whenever we choose to go down a specific route of fitness, like, here's me, I'm training for a marathon at the moment. That means I'm marathon training. That means I want to get better at running. I am not kidding myself, and I'm not looking at myself and going, you're going to be just as strong as you were before you started marathon training. You're going to be just as fit in your CrossFit workouts as you were before you started marathon training. I'm not pulling the wool over my eyes and saying I'm going to be a better CrossFitter than I was. I'm choosing to specialize in an area, which means by default that I'm taking time away from this thing, which for me is the base structure of my fitness. That is CrossFit and constantly varied movement. The marathon for me is a challenge that I will divert to for a temporary period of time, and then I'll return to my foundation of CrossFit after that pursuit. So we're out. We understand that this is going to take a back seat, in that I may get less fit at this thing because I've taken this diversion, but I'm aware, and I'm not gonna argue that marathon training is going to make me fitter at CrossFit. It's going to make me fitter for marathon training. Then when I come back to CrossFit, the CrossFit is going to be the thing that bolsters everything else up, because you're constantly varying your movement. You're a well-rounded, strong, powerful, speedy, agile, great body awareness, can move your body through space. You can you're more flexible because you're doing functional movements through full range of motion. You're like, you name it, that will be, you will put yourself in a better position for everything else by doing CrossFit. And that is the end of my TED talk. I knew I was going to go off on a tangent on this one, guys. And if you watch the whole thing, well done. So I'm gonna go enjoy your week, and I will see you soon.